Ah, crazy town. Never change.
What is it? Collection of empty shells.
Welcome to the Emporium. I'm Bronson. It ain't really a store. Think of me more like a quartermaster, and a chef, and a handyman, and whatever else we need. We gotta eat. Eating means hunting. Hunting means armaments. We used to let people take what they will, but then some idiot shot some other idiot over cards. So Zora set up a system. You fuck up, you don't get to buy gear. You play nice, you do. Yeah, plenty. If you're the type to fix a thing or two, I've got a couple reports I need to follow up on. The pipe's up on Milton's house burst. Someone needs to shut them off. Then there are the cables outside the bar. A sprat chewed through them, and now they're spitting lightning. Then there's the old guardhouse, outside town on the way to the old Bayside Terrace. Someone needs to reset the comms breaker there. I ought to tell you, most of these systems are routed through one of our terminals. You might be able to handle some of them remotely if you know your way around a computer. We sent Milton out to check on the comms tower a while ago. Ain't heard back. I'd wager he got 8.
Something's changed with my pistol's trigger pull. You been tinkering again?
Maybe just a little. Is that all right with you?
It's a lot smoother. Thanks.
Oh, hello. Good to see you again. Oh, in Milton's place? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Me and my diary have got some catching up to do.
Never seen you before. Take my advice. Move on. Get off-world if you can. If you can't, get to the bay. I've been halfway around T1. Monarch, they call it now. Been around it twice. Stood at the hot pole and the cold. Nothing on this moon for nobody. There's a lot of heartbreak. It's pretty simple, kid. I sit at the bar, I drink, I mind my own business. That's it. Denting my skull would be a waste of perfectly good alcohol. Got 2 exes who'd vouch. Look, you want to buy the drinks, I'll do my bit to keep you entertained. Just don't ask me to dance. I can't repay no kindnesses now. Alright, so, I reckon one of the most interesting places I've been is the hot pole. You know what that is? Exactly. This moon ain't big enough to rotate. It's locked. One side always facing Olympus, the other always facing away. Olympus might not be a star, but it throws off assloads of heat. Monarch's hot pole is the part that's closest to the gas giant. It's in the middle of this big mountain plateau. Volcanoes so high the peaks are in space. O2 breathers. The heat from Olympus is worse, though. Close your eyes, you can see rays bursting through your eyeballs. Little streaks of light. The funny thing is, dead in the middle there's just smooth rock. Circular-like. All the dust blown away. Pale gray with hair-fine cracks all over. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was lightheaded from the O2. But I felt like I had to take off the breather for a moment, put my ear to the ground. I wonder now if I imagined it. Trick of the air, the heat. It was at the edge of hearing, deep down, far off, irregular. Tap, 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 tap. The sound of a bird pecking out of a shell. I don't like to tell that one sober. Get to shake something fierce. When there's a groundquake now, I hold my breath. Because I don't know if it's Olympus squeezing us for gravity or wings getting stretched. I won't decline it. So, you know about the ocean? It's where the monarchists keep their salt tuna. Goes all the way around the moon, at the twilight band. On one side, the volcanoes of the hot pole, on the other, the storm wall of the cold pole. Nobody knows how deep it is. Never needed to. The salt tuna keep near the surface. What's more interesting to me is the tides. Nobody's asked me that before. The way I hear it, it kind of wobbles back and forth. The ocean sloshes side to side as it does. On account of how big Olympus is, the tides are monsters. When it's low, the ocean pulls back miles. When it's high, entire islands go under. It ain't so bad in the bay. Likely why they built a city here. But one morning I've gone a ways east. Tides are out, and off in the mud I see something catching sun. I figured it must have been some corporate boat gone aground. Maybe sunk by storm. Good salvage, right? Legit. Standing out there in the mud, miles from any place, is a circle of silver columns. 6 of them. About 2 stories tall. Seamless metal. While I'm standing there in the middle of them, my ears start pounding and I see shapeless things out of the corner of my eyes. Gray. disappearing when I look straight at them. What kind of gobbledygook you talking? Alls I know is I was scared half out of my brains. About then, while I'm cussing into the dark miles from shore, I realize there's another sound in the distance. A roaring off in the night. The tide's coming in. That's exactly what I said at the time. It gets up to my chest before I start out pacing it. But I didn't stop running until I was on something real damn tall. The weirdest thing? I went back the next low tide. Flew out with an AG loader. The columns were gone. And I've never seen them since. Sure as I can be. The moral is, the tides here will kill you if you ain't careful. So stay the fuck away from the water. A great many things. I'll tell you what. You want to listen to an old man ramble? There might be a job in it for you. I used to run with a squad of mercenaries here. Good folk. A fella named Lamont introduced me. Thing is, I ain't seen them in an age. Stands to reason they got themselves ate. Mostly we protect the folk from the beasts here. If it spat, scratched, or stung, we'd kill it for you, so long as you had the bits. We split ways around the time this twice-fucked moon got abandoned. Thing is, I got myself some fond memories. We had some keepsakes of ours we kept in a lockbox, and I've been thinking about seeing it found. I'll be glad for it, but I ain't stupid. This planet tends to get people killed. I just want some closure. Thereabouts. Getting on in years, kid. Legs ain't working like they used to. Sulfur burns a little too long in the lungs. This joint's looking like my last home. Appreciate it, kid. I'm marking outposts on your map. You spend a lot of time out there. Might be a good place to start. Here's a key for the door.
Hey, Ellie. You ever think about naming it?
I always seem to...
What are you buying? I'll be damned. Thanks for doing that. Here. Zora sets aside a bit or two for people who help out. Before you ask, no, it ain't pay. Just being generous to folks who do a good turn.
got nimble fingers, Captain. Time for a drink? That was a nice warm-up. Food poisoning is one of the leading causes of death in Halcyon. Not surprising when you see... You've seemed thoughtful since Monarch. I've been wondering if we did the right thing is all. It's not easy. I gotta tell you, most of these things aren't.
I just wish there was a way to please everybody. What the board did.
If you got in your mind that I want company, you're wrong. Nothing on this moon for nobody. There's a lot of heartbreak. You know, a tiny part, a damn stupid part of me hoped he was still out there. What happened? Damn. Well, you find our box of memories? Well, shit. Thanks for finding it, at least. Don't gotta wonder anymore. Well, ain't you clever? Fine. I was supposed to pick him up that night. Thing is, another offer came along. Bit more lucrative. And their payment almost died with them. Thanks to you, I can afford another round. Cheers, hero. Now go on. Even old Manta is past.
Okay, keep it quiet.
So then I told him, oh, haha. We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
What about Virginia?
For my gun? You just come up with that?
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts? I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for Halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett, but I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal? All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there too. Yeah, you find him yet? Like what?
Reminds me of the crew cabin on one of my first ships. Down they go! I got another fighting me. So, you...
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly... He'll probably be wanting it back. You see any sign of him? Funny place to leave a journal. But what about Mr. Pickett? That's pretty sad. He sure seemed like he knew what he was doing.
He used to tell the kids crazy stories about Halcyon wildlife. Later I learned most of it was wrong, but it was the thought that counted. Then one day he just disappeared. Never heard anything about him again.
So this journal is all he left behind? Seems like I ought to read it. Looks mighty long, though. I bet she'll like that. She's real enthusiastic about all sorts of monsters.
It'd be nice for there to be some good come out of this.
In any case, I appreciate you tracking down Mr. Pickett for me. Here's some bits for your trouble.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that... Destination reached. The groundbreaker. Take someone to watch your back, please.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Sugar Gel Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets. Now with 12%.
Ooh, you're here. It'll do a lot for my credit in the promenade if people see you buying something. So, what'll it be?
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen. We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
gas.
Incoming!
We're doing this!
Hail, Captain. Your return time is within 14% of the expected value. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.